So, who remembers back in 2020 when there were limits placed on things like toilet paper, paper towels, bottled water, and even sanitizing wipes? If you remember that, well, I'm about to bring you some more bad news. According to multiple reports, we are now seeing buying limits placed on certain items at grocery stores simply because of the tariffs that have been put in place, but also people are panic buying and stores are limiting the amount of purchases that people can make. I'm going to break down what's happening. I'm also going to give you some shocking news that we are seeing at food banks and what many states are now highly concerned with. So, I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on, and how you will likely be impacted very, very soon. So again, stick around and watch this entire video, and I'll explain exactly what is going on. But first, all I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So yes, this is your warning. Here in 2025, we are already experiencing buying limits, and this is pertaining to grocery stores. But I want to show you a few things first. Look at this. It says grocery shoppers will feel the tariffs first in the produce aisle. It says higher prices could also be coming soon for seafood, sugar, and coffee, but it may be a while before importers and retailers can gauge the effects of the new fees. Now, this was an article from today. Now, the reason why I bring this to your attention is simple. Because of rising prices, people are going out to different stores and they are buying things that they may or may not need. But here's the problem. People are concerned that their money is not going to go as far as it once did. So instead of waiting for the next month or 2 months to buy things like canned goods, right, to buy meat that they're going to freeze, what they're doing is that they're buying it today. They're storing it. But the problem is grocery stores are now seeing a limited supply. They're now seeing shortages of products on their shelves. But here's what's even worse. The people that are hardest hit, those are the lower income households. In many cases, the lower income households, especially in tough times, they usually go and turn towards like food banks and places like that for additional assistance. Well, here's the problem. We are seeing that food banks are getting hit, and it's not just because of tariffs. Look at this. It says cuts in federal assistance programs hit Oregon food banks. Here's another one that says federal budget cuts hit Oklahoma food banks and other agencies are concerned. And then this one, federal cuts leave Maine food pantries with empty shelves and more need than ever. Well, guess what? You know where the majority of these food banks get their supplies? They get them from donations, yes, but they also get them from grocery stores. They also get them from manufacturers and suppliers that a box was damaged, so they put it in a certain pile, and then when they get enough product, they send it out to these different food banks, usually local. Well, here's a concern. What we're seeing at grocery stores is grocery stores are now actually discounting products as they get closer to the expiration date. They're not doing what they used to do. Okay? And again, you're probably thinking, well, that's troubling. So are they selling us expired products? The answer is no. Listen to this. Okay? Here's what's happening. One person says grocery stores are not donating food that hits its expiration date like they used to. They are still selling food, but the food is selling out before the expiration date. Here's what we're seeing from grocery stores. They are discounting food as it gets closer to the expiration date. But what they're doing is they're applying deeper discounts. And instead of putting the groceries at the back of the store, some of them are putting them at the front. Okay? Listen to this. One store manager said this, and he says, and I think it's a he. This person says, and I quote, "We typically mark down prices by 50% as it gets closer to its expiration date. But since the start of the year, our pricing goes like this. 2 weeks until expiration, prices are at 50%. Then 1 week before expiration, prices go to 75% off. Then the final day, prices are 90% off. Lately, we only have a few items that even make it to its final day. So all those goods that were going to the food banks and the pantries, guess what's happening? A lot of that food isn't making it there because people are waiting at the store until it gets marked down, and that's when they buy it. I can tell you this from experience, personal experience. Whenever I want to go and find a deal, I go to a store called Grocery Outlet. And if any of you have ever shopped at Grocery Outlet, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. But here's the thing. I go to discount retailers. I go to discount stores because I want to save money too. I'm not a billionaire. I want to save money as much as the next person. And so I'm going to go and find things that are on sale. I don't buy cereal unless it's on sale. I just don't. For one, I don't really eat it, but I don't buy cereal unless it's on sale. Okay? Here's the next thing. I will go to a store like Grocery Outlet, and usually at the back of the store at Grocery Outlet, you see a big shelf full of items that are getting close to its expiration date. Just recently, I bought there's a big thing of macaroni and cheese. It was a box. Has like 30 macaroni and cheese cups in it, I believe from Kraft or something like that. And normally, for a pack of, I think normally a pack of 8, it cost me about $5. Maybe it's like $5. For this pack of 30 things of the Kraft single or whatever, okay, this cost me $4 for a pack of 30. I bought 2. This thing expires at the end of this month, at the end of April. Again, there's no way we're going to eat 60 of these things in 20 some days. But again, that's what I bought. Okay? So again, this is what's happening. You're seeing cereal, you're seeing pastas, you're seeing cookies, you're seeing juices. You see this all the time at the back of the stores. Guess what? They're not hitting the food pantries anymore. But here's the thing. Now stores are putting limits on all these products. So you want cereal? Okay, well, this is what it costs. Well, there's a limit of 2 per person. Oh, you want some juice? Well, there's a limit of 4 per person. Oh, you want to buy the Coca-Cola or the Pepsi products? Well, guess what? There's a limit of 1 sale per transaction. Recently, I think Safeway was doing a deal. You buy 2, get 2 free of Coca-Cola products. But they're limiting that to, I believe, just 1. 1 per transaction. So you had to do 2. Yeah, this is where we're at. But I want to show you something as well, because this is a concern. Now, keep in mind the date of this, okay, and the story. This is February 12th. Okay? So again, 2 months ago. It says grocery stores limit egg purchases. Thefts increase as bird flu spreads across the United States. Not only were thefts increasing because the price of eggs just went through the roof, which is also expected to happen again as prices again go through the roof, but thefts were increasing because people were seeing the limits. Oh, you want to buy, okay, you want this much of eggs? Okay, here you go. Here's 2 boxes. But then by the time you get to the store, you end up stealing another one. Because again, you couldn't get the 3. You couldn't buy 3 cases of eggs because they'd only sell you 2. So you'd buy the 2 and somebody would steal the other one. That's what was happening. Okay, we saw this before with medication. Walgreens was hit. Walmart was hit. Walmart now puts a lot of medicine behind glass cases that you have to have an employee come and actually unlock it because they were seeing so much theft. Okay, same with Target. Okay, they were seeing so much theft. I got reports from friends of mine who were selling medication and like over-the-counter stuff on Amazon. Okay, they were the supplier for this, and people were purchasing the items like ibuprofen, things like that, like Tylenol. They were buying the stuff and they were selling it, but on Amazon. And people would buy it on Amazon, but yet what they put back in the bottle was not the same thing. They'd open up the package, put a different bottle back in it, send it back to Amazon to get a full refund. And he had to dispute that so many times. That's what he saw, 2 years ago. Last year as well. Okay? We see this all the time. Where people are going to find a way to get what they want without paying for it. Okay? Or what they want, even though they're trying to pay for it, they won't get it because there's limitations, and so then they steal it. So that's where we're at this time. Again, this is 2020 all over again, but for a different reason. It's not because certain supply chains are shut down and we're seeing gridlock at the ports. No, it's simply because prices are going up, yet the amount of money that the American people have is actually going down. That's a concern. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you right now is this is a story that we need to stay up to date on, because again, you may walk into a store and see somebody's filling up a backpack of stuff just to walk right out of it. So again, I'm not here to tell you that we're going to see this everywhere, but the reports are indicating that we're already seeing it in many major cities as well as some rural areas as well. So we'll see what happens, but that's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.